I'm currently working on specifically the ribbon of the Christmas wreath ball that I've been working on at Dad's place for my mom. I colored in the sunflower during the evening hours, and then after I finished the sunflower, that was when I started coloring in the ribbon. It was around 8:30 p.m. then. And it was around that time that I had some of a bag of skinny popcorn that Dad got during today's trip to Wegmans. And I believe right before that trip, he went to his parents' place in order to pick up this chicken parm that Dad's mom made. It tastes pretty good. I spent a bit of the morning hours, some of the morning hours before I fell asleep. I believe it was around 10:45 in the morning. Around 5:50 in the morning, I had my first cup of coffee, morning cup of coffee. And I believe I was done with it somewhere between 8 and 9 in the morning. After having a couple cups from the morning pot Dad made, there was a little green plastic cup that had some extra coffee in it. And I think I finished that by 9 or 10 in the morning at the latest. I recall waking up around, after I fell asleep, around 10:45 in the morning. I recall waking up around most likely 3:30 p.m. And about 15 minutes later, I had what I was originally going to have around noon before I fell asleep, which were these 2 hot dogs Dad prepared for me in the morning. One of them had one of those brochure rolls cut open, while the other had a cut open bagel. I microwaved the hot dogs for a minute and then put ketchup on them. And I think I avoided putting on relish because of how small and empty the relish seemed at the time. I first finished that last tulip, which I believe I did in the morning hours. Though at this time, it's kind of difficult to tell what the last tulip outline was. Maybe it's this one. Though I'm not 100% sure. After I finished the last tulip, I started work on the pine cones. I decided to make some yellow, some blue, and I tried my best in a sort of sense to not have the blue and yellow pine cones touch or have the pine cones be evenly spread throughout the ball. Same philosophy for berries. Tried to make the patterns of each cluster of berries a little different. Tried to make each pine cone look different. And it was the evening by the time I started working on coloring in the sunflower. I fell asleep in the morning because I didn't fall asleep on my bed. Because yesterday I ended up falling asleep for a few hours in the evening. I believe that's what happened. Yeah, but I'm doing fine currently. I went down for a glass of water at the same time Dad got home from work. And being at his parents' place and grocery shopping at Wegmans. It was nice to see him come home. He got steaks and shrimp from Wegmans for our little New Year's party. Around 8:30 p.m. I came down again. Maybe to ask if Dad wanted to see my progress on the drawing so far. That was when I saw the bag of skinny popcorn. And that's when Dad shared some with me. I think after I asked if I could have some. I got a bowl pretty much exactly like this one for it. While working on the ribbon of the current polystyrene drawing, I made this mark because I believe this part of my hand was resting on the recently finished the recently colored in sunflower as I worked on the ribbon. These are all the Sharpie markers I've used thus far. For this project. And as of now, I don't see any reason why I would need to get any more. The markers mostly come from my satchel, though there were a few points in which I had to get a marker from this. Which are just as capable as the markers from my satchel. I just have the satchel in order to be more organized. Around 5:50 in the morning was when I had what was essentially breakfast, which is usually something small. In this case, it was the first cup of coffee with the last two of these little muffins / cupcakes, probably more likely to be muffins since they don't have frosting on them, but they do have brown sugar sprinkled on them. I had the last two of those. I believe Dad's mom made them around that time. Right before the board reset today, I managed to get, this was a ×4, and I luckily managed to get a ×2 reward on this when there were just 4 left due to relatively early on this tool revealing 2 that wasn't the one ×4 winner gifts. There were no other winner gift slots at the time. It was quite fortunate, and hopefully with that break, I'll be able to get the last artifact for this building.